actually started, I was with my girlfriend in Costa Rica, and I just literally lost all confidence. I didn't even want to go outside no more. I had eczema so bad I was bleeding through the sheets. And I was fed up. Dude tells me I'm allergic to 79 out of 83 allergens in the world, like that are out there. I became a little nerd at that point and went down a rabbit hole and found that the FDA doesn't have to tell us everything on the labels. I got pissed off and did more research, and I created a halal luxury goat milk soap that's great for my skin, great for your skin.
That's why it's European based, because in North America, they literally have no standards in regards to what ingredients can go in personal care products.
And I'm fighting against disposable beauty. Disposable beauty is like overconsumption, superficiality, disconnected value. We do live in a capitalistic world, but I think that we could be moral about it. I need to know who I am inside and out. I need to know where I stand for.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Expand and Evolve podcast. I'm so excited because we have a guest joining us this week, Mike Johnson. Me and him don't really know each other very much, but we were introduced through a mutual friend that said we needed to do a podcast together. So here we are. In regards to what we're going to talk about, I know we're going to talk about business. I want to talk about your journey in terms of how you've gotten to where you are. I know you shared a little bit with me just before this, but going from working a normal job, reality TV, getting into the entrepreneurship, and just that journey and how that's kind of looked for you. So if you want to go ahead and start and maybe just slightly introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a teeny bit about who you are, and we'll jump straight into kind of your business journey and how you got to where you are right now with the new company that you just created, which I know you have your own goats, and that's what was like, oh my God, so cute. I want to know all about it. So that's kind of what led to us having this conversation and me wanting to know a little bit more about what you're doing, your brand, and all the things.
Thank you, Carly, for having me. Let's start there. Let's start with some goats, because goats are cute, right?
We love goats.
We love goats. Actually, here in Austin, and yesterday we just had our goat yoga in the park downtown Austin. We have free yoga, and we have free goats for everyone to come hang out, and they get to wash their hands with our goat milk soap afterwards. So that's kind of the life that I live today. I'm a goat soap herder.
So funny.
But that was never something that I just started off about. It actually started, I was with my girlfriend in Costa Rica, and I just literally lost all confidence. I didn't even want to go outside no more. I had eczema so bad I was bleeding through the sheets.
Wow.
And the eczema was sticking, it's disgusting thinking about it. It was sticking to the sheets. Like the pus was actually sticking to the sheets. So I had to pull my skin from the sheets. And I was fed up, that was like the last straw. And I come back to America, go to an allergist. Dude tells me I'm allergic to 79 out of 83 allergens in the world, like that are out there, which is pretty much everything. And so I became a little nerd at that point and went down a rabbit hole and found that the FDA doesn't have to tell us everything on the labels. I got pissed off and did more research, and I created a halal luxury goat milk soap that's great for my skin, great for your skin.
I love that. Okay, wait. Let's talk about this, because the FDA thing, this is something that I've gone way down the rabbit hole with also.
Sure.
So like the company that I'm affiliated with now and the brand that I built, that's kind of, they care about all of that too. And so the ingredient standards, that's why it's European based, because in North America, they literally have no standards in regards to what ingredients can go in personal care products. And so many of our personal care products are loaded with things that are intentionally harmful, intentionally toxic, and intentionally carcinogenic. And so when you uncover that, you go, holy, there's all these people dealing with all of these different issues. And a lot of the products are not helpful for that. And so I love that you're creating something that's more natural and cleaner and all the things. But when you went down that rabbit hole, I don't know if you want to share a little bit more on that. But for some people, I feel like some people listening, I've talked about this a little, but some people still don't know. And I feel like right now in the media, they're doing way more at showcasing kind of how corrupt the whole industry is. But before that, there wasn't really a lot of mainstream media about this. So I don't know if you want to share just a little bit more about like what you found as you went down that rabbit hole, and which is kind of cool because it's like you almost need something to piss you off enough to like take action and do something different. So yeah. So fill us in, just talk about that a little bit more.
Well, first, I feel like I'm with my people right now.
Yeah.
And, people thank you. I'm glad that, you've done your due diligence as well and kind of, I guess, got the innate reaction that I got and felt as well.
Mhm,
One of the biggest things as it pertains to soap, right? And I started with soap for my eczema because our skin is literally our biggest organ. Well, it gets in contact with so many things. And I don't know about you seem like you follow this rule. I follow it, which is like have a shower a day. And, I just wanted to start off with literally what I put on my skin every single day, and that's soap. So that's where I started with, and gold milk soap is great for that. But specifically in regards to FDA, what pissed me off, I would say the most, is that they don't even have to put all the ingredients on the label itself. Like,
mhm,
how do you literally give me
mhm,
what, let's say it's a toothpaste, and you're putting something in here that I'm looking at the label thinking I'm being a great person of society, trying to be conscious, but they're lying to me. And that shit is just, I can't stand for that. And I also, like you, I love that you said that. What you said was, your products are EU based or from the EU. And my goat milk soap, not a single product, not a single ingredient, shall I say, comes from the US outside of our packaging.
right.
And it's
Where does
because
it
of those
come from
exact
for
same
you?
reasons. So we have a specific type of goat. There's about 11 different goat breeds. Ours is called Nubian goat because they have the highest fatty content matter. They come from the Philippines. We have a farm in the Philippines with a veterinarian on site. We have a goat cam as well. It's kind of cute. But some of our bigger ingredients that people love to talk about, especially the ladies, ladies love the naturally occurring salicylic acid that we have. We have Manuka honey that comes from New Zealand, literally the home, the birthplace of Manuka honey. We have shea butter that comes from Ghana in Africa, which is the home of shea butter. We have extra virgin olive oil, first processed cold pressed from Tuscany, Italy, over 400 biophenols. And I can go on and on and on about all the 11 ingredients that we have from Mother Earth. But they're at the Pierce level. We are halal certified.
Mhm,
And we became halal certified not from an aspect of religion, but more so an aspect of integrity,
mhm.
purity. And yeah, I don't want to go too far. I hope that answers your question.
No, I love that. I love that you said the ingredients well, simple because you said there's only 11, right?
Yes, only
Yeah.
11.
And that you said they're all from Mother Earth, because 'cause I'm like, I love
Yeah.
that. 'Cause it's the same thing
No,
that
but
I kind of feel too, and, like, this is again, the company that I'm with, we really believe that also, like, let's bring it back to nature. Let's pair it with science, but bring it back to the ingredients that we should be putting on our skin and our body, and like you said, it is our largest organ, and what we're putting on it does get absorbed into our bloodstream and impacts our health, and so it's kinda like your first line of defense of
yes.
protection, and so what you're putting on it really does matter, and, like, we need to be mindful of that. So I love that because same thing, it's like I feel like I'm in this phase right now with even clothing, where it's like, why are we putting fake fake products on our skin, you know? It, like, starts to make you realize, like, okay, there's a reason why people use cotton and linen and all of these naturally occurring fabrics because
Yes.
just like the products you're putting on your skin, it's the same thing with clothing. So here we are putting plastic on, and then it's like, no wonder we have all these skin issues, and I'm sure you found that too. The fact that your skin was sticking to the sheets, like, we need to go back to that too because that's that's crazy.
No, it is crazy. But I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure how this call was gonna go, but I'm loving this call so far. I really am. I like to be with people that are, pissed off at the same things that I'm pissed off about.
Mhm.
Because for
That
me,
get it,
it's
right?
also
Yeah.
that, yeah, you get it. Like it's also when I go to the gym now, I had to get rid of all my spandex. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the spandex be looking better. But I don't have any children yet, and I'm scared about like the microplastics in my testes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
literally.
Mhm.
So I just love this conversation so much.
No,
Thank you.
okay, wait, 'cause obviously you've done the research and look into this. I've never talked about
Mhm.
this on the podcast before, but I feel like this is like a new thing that I feel like I'm being pulled like it's another layer of something I have to get rid of, which is fake fabric. Like I'm feeling like I need to get
Yeah.
rid of them out of my closet, let it all go. But exactly like you said, like the leggings, like some of these leggings look great. So I'm like,
Yeah,
where am I
they just
going to
cute.
find leggings?
Yeah. I don't know about the ladies. I'm not sure. I can't help you in that
Mhm,
regard. But for me, I only wear cotton to the gym now. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like I'm the best looking guy in there with the
mhm.
cotton. Because a part of it
Wait,
is
what are you
vanity.
wearing for shorts or pants? Like, what do they look like? Like
They're just
sweatpants?
cotton. It's cotton, just cotton 8-inch shorts or 7-inch seams.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like the spandex. I see why companies went with spandex. You could do a lot more with spandex. And you just have to. again, before the call started, I said it's not on me, it's in me, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's more of where our society needs to go to because right now the propaganda is buy whatever I give you, let me shove it down your throat, and it's a bunch of synthetic shit.
No, literally though. So it's like, it's can we go there? Because I think if you elaborate on this, it's not what's outside of you, it's what's within you. This is something that I feel is so valuable and important, but a lot of people, we get
Yeah,
stuck, and especially if you're consuming social media, you're online, you don't even realize that you're getting pulled into consumerism all the time, and you're feeling like you need all these things outside of you when really it's like what you cultivate from within. So,
factual.
why don't you elaborate on this? I want people to know a little bit more about, like, how did you get there? Like, what
Yes.
journey have you gone through to start to understand that concept? Because I think for a lot of people, they may not be there yet. And so I think sometimes when someone shares their story and their journey, it allows people to be like, relate and understand how they can get there too. Because, like,
So
you're on social, you have followers, you were on TV.
yes.
So obviously, shifts have happened internally for you to get to this place. Or maybe this is who you were before. I don't know. But, like, what was that journey to kind of get to this place of understanding?
This is a long response, but I'll start being really short. I have a friend who tells me that if a person in a relationship doesn't cheat, that's one thing. If a person in a relationship that doesn't cheat, that has constant people coming at them to cheat with, that's another thing. And I think that as it pertains to social media, it's the same way. And what I mean by that is this. So for me, I have always been a self love individual before it was a term. But when you go on TV and you start to see numbers, oh, it eats at you. It eats at you big time. And I'm talking about numbers from a social media perspective. Like if I do a brand deal and I got paid 100K, let's just say, for example, just for easy math, it would, then I'll pay attention to the numbers because that numbers will dictate where I get paid next. And so shattered confidence because what happened when you're on TV is that you're no longer hot. You're on TV now. And so that happened. And then personally, I've been losing people based on their relationship with depression, their bouts of suicide. I've lost 4 people, and it started in the military. I lost a military brethren. I lost a high school friend. I lost 2 high school friends, and I lost Chesley Cripps. She was Miss USA,
Mm,
Miss USA 2019, and I went to Mexico, and I was by myself for 9 months. I learned Spanish, un poco, and I was just totally isolated, just me and my thoughts. Of course, the language. In that time, it was just like there's nothing. It almost came to a point of I have money, I have fame, I have some of the best experiences and conversations and memories one could have. I have a blue check if that matters. I have a military pension because I was in my time in the military. I've been deployed. I've served the country. All these different things, but like the only thing that I found to endure is how you feel about yourself. And what I continue to tell you about, like we can put on these things because at a certain point we are all, we all want to look good. But I think that in today's marketplace, it's so easy to get caught up in that and lose who you are as a person. And so for me, I started my company's name is Oshun. Oshun, she's a goddess from Nigeria. She represents love, beauty, purity, sensuality. And so when I mentioned to you earlier, only 11 of Mother Nature's purest ingredients, I mean
mm,
that in
mhm,
every ounce. I'm just simply listening to Mother Nature. I'm a steward. And so when we started Oshun as a brand, we took from my personal values and also from the Oshun. She's a Yoruba goddess, her values. And so, she talks about love, beauty, purity, sensuality. And I talk about one of my biggest things is inside, outside, same. If you're trying to cover up insecurities
mhm,
on the inside, you oftentimes cover up insecurities exterior. And so I'm a very big component for timeless confidence. And I hate and I'm fighting against disposable beauty.
mm,
Disposable beauty, as I call it, is what you and I were talking about earlier. Disposable beauty is like overconsumption,
mhm,
superficiality, disconnected value. It's one of the biggest ones is planned obsolescence. These light bulbs that are above you and I both. Literally, in our great grandparents and grandmothers' age, they created a light bulb that lasted 100 years. Now the damn thing goes out every 2, 3 years. And it's all because, and I can go down a million list of things, but it's all because of capitalism, we do live in a capitalistic world, but I think that we could be moral about it.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm trying to do is bring some ethics, some morals. I think that true power is the ability to do and still do right.
Okay, I love this. I was just thinking about the capitalism part because it's like the old, like our grandparents' age, their fridge or their wash and dry, like they never
Yeah.
got they never gave out. We're like now
Yes.
everything is created to have to purchase again.
Do you know the pantyhose? I'm sorry.
The what?
There's a quick story about the pantyhose. When it first came out, I forget the name of the company out creating the pantyhose, but they couldn't get people to rebuy it because girls were loving it, but it worked so good. And so they literally made the pantyhose a weaker fabric. So they would start to break. You got to go replace it. That's our society.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think once you become aware I wanna know more about your 9 months in Mexico because I feel like that was probably very transformational for you. But then also you mentioned disposable beauty, which I don't know if you wanna elaborate on that, but, like, I talk about beauty standards on here all the time and just, like, again, with social media and the world that we're living, I feel and obviously you must have a connection if you're naming it after a goddess, you're talking about Mother Earth, you must have an understanding to the deeper value that women also bring and the feminine,
For sure.
where it's like with social media, I feel like it's so distorted and so many people are thinking it's their bodies or it's their lips or it's the plastic surgery, it's the fake hair, or whatever it is. And it's like it's taking us away. It's that fake disconnection, it's overconsumption, it's all of it. Taking people out of their true power, which is what you said at the beginning, what's going on the inside versus the outside. So I don't know if you wanna talk a little bit more about that and, like, clearly that's a brand value for you, um, but then I also wanna know about your journey like, I wanna know more about you, like, your 9 months that you went away, you going from the military obviously, you just mentioned people have lost like, you've lost people, to mental health, and so if you wanna go into men's mental health, because this is something that I've talked about on here before too, but any of that, like, any of that that you wanna elaborate on, because that's I'm very curious.
No, for sure. Let's start with Oshun, right? Oshun is feminine. Oshun is a goddess. I'm a black dude sitting here, right, in front of you.
I
So,
love it.
very, very, I look very, very male, right? But I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Women are beautiful. And I learned this from a child. I grew up with all women. I grew up with my mother, my sister, and my grandmother. My little sister. And what they taught me is that their softness brings so much strength. It's a strength that I don't have. It's a strength um, that I respect. And high key. I want more women to respect themselves for their own strength and to know they have this strength.
Mhm,
I created Oshun after a goddess because of her strength and the strength of our soap for moisture in your skin. Um, I don't think that we talk about social media a little bit. I'll speak to it from like two negatives and a positive. One negative is like we have this masculinity shit. I don't know what else to call it. Like this masculinity bubble. Like we got toxic masculinity. We have alpha and beta, and all these buzzwords. And this is a part of what disposable beauty is. They're ephemeral. They're fleeting. They're here today and gone tomorrow. They're not enduring. They're
mhm,
not a man seeing the true beauty and the true strength of a woman and vice versa, right? And I guess you would consider me in this regard an ally
mm,
for that. And I think that again, that to me is a part of what strength is being soft, and that's how we're approaching this. That's how we're coming within this. So what you asked about, I love that you have you coined a term as well. Mine is disposable beauty. Um, to me, that's just again, disposable beauty embodies this fleeting and unsustainable approach to scale self care or overconsumption or trend driven marketing. That's a lot of what we see on social media is mass production of low quality products, literally designed for obsolescence.
mhm,
It's a lack of personality I feel that we have in today's society. I think all of us are, when I go to England, I used to live in England. All the guys, they're literally, they look good. All of them. They all 6'2" white guys. Their left arm is tatted up, sleeved up. They have the exact same shirt on. I mean, they all look like it's a carbon copy. And I think, honestly, the same thing with the ladies. I think that individuality was lost when we became addicted to dopamine via social media
Mhm.
at the deepest level. And I think as it pertains to skin, what is it? Health and beauty, fitness and wellness, business and finance are the three biggest
Mm.
businesses around the entire globe. And that again goes back to our vanity. And I'm okay with saying that. I really am okay with it because I'm a human being and I want to look good too.
Yeah.
Came on this call, said, man, I can get a haircut. And I think that because that's a part of our status in the world. It's how people approach us. When I grew up in a hood and I wore wife beaters and stuff, I would be approached differently than when I became a financial advisor and was wearing a suit. And so these status markers, I don't necessarily know if they're considered bad, but what is bad is how we seek them and lose ourselves within them. And so again, why we started this was because of my literally lack of confidence in my skin. I was in beautiful Costa Rica. I'm in literally one of the blue zones in the world with my
Mhm.
gorgeous girlfriend. And I was like, nah, I can't go outside. And it comes back to, you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you do good. You do good,
Mhm.
you play good. You play good, you get paid good.
Mm.
And that's from Deion Sanders. And I like that quote. And so for me, I'm no longer ashamed of the skin I'm in. I become confident and I become confident because I am competent on what I put on my skin. And that's Oshun. Come up. So
That was a good ad.
thank
We
you.
need that recorded as a one-liner. It's so good. No, but it is true because if you like, it's so important because if you don't have that confidence, it does impact your life negatively, and obviously, you could be the most you know you're worthy and you know you're great internally, but when you if especially if your skin's hurting, like, of course you don't wanna go outside. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? And so I feel like, yeah, I fully get
Hurting is the right word. Hurting is the right word because the sensory experience of putting on the sub was actually physically hurting itself. So I appreciate
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I think, well, even me, like, I just had my first skin reaction while I was in Spain. I've never had anything like this before in my life, but my legs were fully rashy and, like, the skin started literally peeling off. So it's probably the closest thing that I could feel in relation to what it would have been like having such a big eczema flare up, right? Where I was like, "What is happening?" And then you almost feel helpless because 'cause you're like, "What is going on? I've never experienced anything like this. My skin was blistering. I don't know if I got sun poisoning. What the hell happened?" But, like, now that you're talking about this, I'm like, "I need some goat soap."
No, you definitely do. I got you. I definitely got you. And one of the worst things is, being helpless and being hopeless, right? It stagnates us all. It stagnates us
Mhm,
all. And when you were talking about, you had a rash in your leg while you were out in Spain, that's one of the crazy factors. I try to be again, we're in a capitalistic society. I have a business. You have a business. That's a part of what capitalism is. I intend to come with a moral compass in this. And I'll say that, yes, what you put on your skin is a huge thing. But then how are your stress levels, right? What is the
mhm,
environment that you're in? For you, it's probably the environment that you were in, you know, wherever trees, whatever pollen's in their trees could have affected you, whatever what's in their ozone layer could have affected you.
mhm.
So all these things matter, including what we put it in our body, what we eat,
Yeah.
what we digest.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that too because 'cause I'm like, I know you can end up having physical skin reactions, but it's all internal. Like, it could be fully from your gut health.
Inside, outside, same.
It's yeah, it's so tough because it's like sometimes it's what you're actually putting on, and then other times it's what's going on inside, and then it's manifesting on the outside to, like, bring awareness that, like, "Hey, something's wrong." Um, how did you come with the name Oshun? Like, how did you discover the goddess?
Yeah. So honestly, I have to give that to, again, another lady, a friend of mine, Rachel. I just said, I told her what I wanted, and I wanted a short one word name that represents some form of beauty and like to be confident and has a heritage behind it. And
Mm,
I really mean that because we're a luxury artisan brand, handmade. And so one of the things about other luxury brands is they oftentimes have heritage built in. They've been out since the 1800s, 1700s, starting in 2025. So I was like, I don't have that. And so my friend, she said, "Oh, sure."
yeah,
We're everything that we've done has been incredibly intentional. Incredibly, it's all from a holistic. place. Started outside saying as you were just saying, a black owned, me. And so Oshun, she's a Nigerian goddess as well. And so I'm representing in a way my mother.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank
Was
you.
your mom
Thank
from Nigeria?
you. My mom is not from Nigeria. She's not. Well, my mom was from, they didn't have a goddess. And I didn't want to call it Tammy.
There was no goddess, so you chose her. Okay, I love it. Where is your mom from?
She's from Dallas.
Okay. Is there a goddess in Ghana? I have a whole deck about, like, all these different goddesses from different places, and I don't know if I've ever heard of her. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that's fun for me to go look up because I've read about so many, but a lot of them are from, like, India or Japan or, like, different places. So that's cool.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Mhm. Um, I wanna know about your journey. Tell us about your business.
Yes,
So, like, how did you go from like, obviously, you were in military, right? You said you were in the Air Force?
I was.
So, like,
Yes.
take us from, like, your high school to that to where you came and, like, what you've done that's, brought you to the place of wanting to create your own brand and own business.
So I did join the military. I joined at 2021 and did that for about 4 or 5 years. Got out and I stayed in the military just as like a guardsman, part time reservist, and became a financial advisor. And I think those two first pillars were colossal for me as a entrepreneur. The military taught me how to be a servant leader, right? And to be a leader, you must serve first. And so as a servant leader. And I think to be a leader, you must care, you must listen so that you can lead your people the right way. And so that was pivotal for me. And then financial advisor, that taught me everything about the money aspect, the finances, how to speak money, how to, my clients were all business owners. I was able to witness everything for them, the ups and the downs, and then how I protect them, continue to make sure that their end goal is protected. And then I went on TV, which was not in the cards at all. It was not in the debt. That was God. And
Wait, what were you on TV for? Because some people might not
yeah.
know.
Oh, sorry. I did 4 shows. Um, I was on The Bachelorette. That's the biggest. Um, that was season 15. Hannah Brown was The Bachelorette. A Time to Be Alive. Uh, and then, it's been some time afterwards. And honestly, Carly, afterwards, I haven't had a job. It's been 5, 6 years, 6, 7 years actually.
Mhm.
Very good with my money, honestly. And
The financial advisor piece, though, like, had you
yes,
gone on the show and not had the background, you may
yeah,
not
that'd
have
be very different.
known.
Very, very different. Very, very different. Very different. I probably would have did like most of I was say classmates, my cast mates, and blew it on whatever people blow their money on. Me, I've blown my money as well, but all in investments,
Yeah,
all in
yeah,
business.
yeah. Well, it's the intention behind it, right? Because it's like it and did you I'm curious too, because obviously you went on the show, you said you've been on 4 different shows. So, did you just get the experience and you're like, "Okay, I guess I'll just go do this?" And then were you smart about it in the sense of like, "Okay, I'm gonna if this is happening and if I'm getting this exposure, I'm gonna be intentional and smart about how I'm utilizing this exposure," or, like, was it just kind of it all just happened? Like,
Yeah,
what was that like for you?
I wish I could say I was intentional. I was not. I didn't know how big the show was. I never had watched The Bachelorette before. I didn't know who Chris Harrison was. He was the host at the time.
Mhm.
I didn't know that it was at the time. It was the second biggest show in North America, Canada, and the U.S. outside of Shark Tank, or I believe in Canada it's called Dragon's Den.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't know that at all. I remember we went to we had went overseas, and girls were screaming like 4 of us. I was one of those that they were screaming for, and I was like, bro, I feel like I'm part of the Beatles. Like, what is going on? And the show hadn't even aired yet, and so
Wow.
I would be lying if I said I was intentional about what I would do after the show. I thought I was gonna go right back to being a financial advisor,
Mm.
but I also didn't know the opportunities that come, and when you smile and people say, "Oh, here's money."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. But I want to go back. So my first year as a financial advisor,
Mhm.
20 circa, I like that word, circa 2016, circa 2015. I actually created my own self then.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I had no idea that it would come back around in life. I was
Right.
just creating my own stuff because I was kind of being a hippie.
Yeah.
Uh,
I did
it's
the
kind of
same
a,
thing, by the way.
oh,
So before I
awesome.
got to the
Wow,
company I'm with, I literally went full hippy dippy because I learned about all the toxic ingredients, and I ordered, like, my own shea butter and my own, like, beeswax and, like, all this stuff, and I was creating my own stuff on the pot, and then it was so gross that I was like it, like, kinda stunk funny, it got all over my car, and I was like, "Ugh," like, I'd rather just choose cancer at this point, like, why can't I find an in between? And so, that's so funny because I literally had those same moments way before I got into what I'm doing now.
that's so crazy. It was meant to be.
Yes,
We just didn't even know what we were doing at the time,
yes.
right?
It was
It's
just
yeah,
it's planting the
so
seed,
crazy.
like, it all always is linked together. That's why I was curious
It
about your
really is.
journey from, like, every step because they always build on each other and play some
I
role.
love that. I love it. My ops manager, she calls that lily pads. She's like, "How do
Mhm.
we lily pad from here to here, and what is the connection?" Because if there isn't a connection, then that's not authentic. And so, what is that connection?
Right.
And so, I love the way that you just explained that.
Yeah, the lily
Uh,
pad. That's such a cute way too. It was a lily
yeah.
pad.
Well, she used to
Love.
be a teacher, so she
Yeah,
did
yeah.
special ed teacher, so she's always doing the cute stuff. She literally has no card for me, right?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But
Mhm.
yeah. So Air Force taught me how to be a servant leader. Financial advisors taught me about money. My clients were business owners, small business owners. TV. I think a TV honestly taught me that it really comes from within. And I
Mm,
really mean that because when you get on TV, you never really know. It's like someone that's does not say that. It's like someone who wins the lottery. You never know, Carly. You don't know. Mike. I don't know how I'm going to act if I win $500 million overnight. I think I'll be the exact same way that I am now because I've experienced money. Not that much money, but I've experienced some money. I think it's the same thing with, for example, a guy that goes on one of these shows that no girl was looking at him before.
mm.
He a little hot. You see where I'm going.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
girls want him, so now he might act different.
Right.
You know, he might start to feel himself a little bit too much. Or it's like if I don't get into money, or if just get fame. It's like if I drink alcohol, what happens to me after the alcohol? Right? It's who you already are. It's just amplified. That's all it is. And so TV amplified who I was. And what I mean by that is, yeah, it's cool and everything to be known, but having your stylist is even more important. I mean, Lady Gaga said it best. Her famous tweet, "Fame is prison," and it's like that sometimes. That's a part of why, where I talk about servant leader, why I care so much about Oshun, my soap, because I have a platform, and when you get a platform, people love to take apart everything, and it can really hurt you. It can be really debilitating, especially when you never created a business around goat milk soap before. You're going to fail, but you have 500,000 people following you, and so
Right.
you're going to fail publicly over and over and over again. And so that journey, I'll start there with that journey. Started 2.5 years ago.
Mhm.
I was trying to buy a business. They're very transparent. I was trying to buy a business, and there's riches and niches. I'm a believer of that. There's riches and niches, and I was coming across lots of businesses, doing my due diligence, becoming more intelligent with the money, how that works, and the finances of how these things work. I found a business in the UK that I wanted to buy. It was, uh, well, I found a business in the UK I wanted to buy. It was a soap business. My SEO guy, he's number one in North America. I should put you in contact with him. Like, he told me something that annoyed me. He said, "Bro, why would you buy it when you can build it?" And it annoyed me because it was like that chip on my shoulder that I needed. And so I was like, okay. I then go to GoDaddy and I look for the domain, and it was available. The domain that I wanted. The domain that I chose at the time was called Goat Milk Soap. It was available. I bought it and I forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. Just, I was like, no big deal. I guess you could say that I was investing in buying a domain name so someone else can buy it from me. 8 months later, my girlfriend and I, you know,
Mhm.
we wake up and it was just a bad day. It was a bad eczema day. And that's where it really started. Come
Right.
back to America. Doctor tells me I'm allergic to 79 out of 83 things. Ask him, what can I do? I have a clobetasol. It's a steroid cream. It's a pretty strong steroid cream. In this month, this was, I think, September of 23. Now, I bought the domain in January. So it was like 8, 9 months later. So I really have forgot all about this. But now I'm affected. Now I'm pissed off. And so I go to the doctor. I'm allergic to everything, basically. Everything is shit for me. Then I'm looking at this cream that I've been taking for years that the doctor had given me.
That's so bad for
I'm addicted to that cream.
yeah,
That cream changed my melody.
really.
Yeah. So I mean, when I tell you I'm pissed off, Carly, I'm pissed off. Like I'm genuinely, I created this product genuinely
And you have
to
to detox
combat
from it,
this.
right? So whatever you're putting
Yes.
on your skin, like,
Yes.
I've seen these things where people are like you said, you're literally addicted to it. It's thinning your skin, which can create
Yes.
more issues, and now
Yes.
your skin's literally addicted to it, and then you go through a
Yes.
detox.
Yes. Literally. It's like literally being addicted to like heroin or something. It's absurd. I was beyond pissed off because my I'm addicted to it. I'm not even getting a benefit from it. At least if I do heroin, I'm gonna like it for a moment. I'm just
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
cream on my skin. It's like, how am I addicted to a cream that's going on my skin? Right? I'm being genuine. Like it's literally just cream. And the issue is, you're so right. I can tell you know your stuff now. I love that. This cream, it's a clobetasol promenade, I believe it's called. It changes how your body reacts to when you get an eczema outbreak. And so, and this is what pisses me off about this disposable industry, disposable beauty industry. I put the cream on, it goes away. I'm like, yay, it works. It comes back and it comes back stronger. So therefore, they keep me on this cycle. Now, after, oh, okay, we're in September 23, right? We're in July of 25. So for the first year was unraveling this to the bottom, honestly, unraveling to the bottom. It's like, why do a simple question. This is probably the most simplest question I've asked myself since I've started this business. I've never asked it before. Why do we put on lotion?
Why do what?
Why do we put on lotion?
Mm. Yeah, why? I've been wondering that because 'cause I've needed a lot lately, and I'm like, "What the heck? What is going on?
Yeah,
Because
what's
why do
going
I
on?
need this thing on my skin?"
Yeah. Oftentimes, everyone's different. Their skin is different. Times it's a cycle. It's a product cycle.
Mm,
You start off with a body wash or a body bar. They do one of two things. I can get into the science of it. In for the FDA, they call it a toilet soap or they call it a beauty bar. Right? They're two
mm,
different things. This is all Googleable information. I'm not telling you anything that's not out there. So a toilet soap, those are considered soaps that clean you, but they strip you.
strip you.
They
Yeah.
it's like nails on a chalkboard. Ugh. You feel that streak on just you don't want that on your skin. A beauty bar, this is what people love. This is what most North Americans love. And it's because we're unfortunately ignorant because we think that the government has our best interest.
Mhm.
That's the best way to say it. So a beauty bar, it nourishes you. It's creamy.
Yeah.
You thinking, oh
I
man, it
love a
got
cream.
bubbles, it
100%.
nourishes me, it feels good. It has my skin feeling creamy, and it cleans shit.
Mhm.
Third
Right.
one, body wash. You go to Target, for example. I dare anyone listening to this phone call, go to Target and I dare you to find something with the word soap, SOAP. I'll give you $100. You won't find it. You will find a beauty bar or body wash. They can't legally call it soap because it's not soap.
Interesting.
This is why it's called a beauty bar or body wash because it's not a soap, it's a body wash. That's 50 to 70% water. Google it, right? And so we're basically spending $12 for water, but it makes us feel creamy, right? And so afterwards, the product cycling,
Mhm.
right? They want you to buy the next product and the next product. You need to put on lotion because if you use a cleansing bar, you're strict and you're hella dry. You have to put on the lotion. Or if you use a beauty bar, you're not really that clean. You got to put on the deodorant. That's terrible for us. Terrible for us. I mean, to get into the deodorant aspect of that, and put on more lotion, put on creams. You can create a beauty bar. I'm black. I don't even use lotion after my soap. I mean, that's the biggest flex I could possibly have. Like literally.
right? So what
You've
so
seen
since
my
you're
girlfriend before. She doesn't use lotion after she's
okay, so you've been able to go from, because did you used to have to use lotion? Was there a detox period of stopping the lotion for your skin
yes,
to, like, actually
yeah,
be able to, like,
yes,
replenish its natural oils?
yes. I'm still in it. You still will because I do live in Austin, so I still will use a lotion. But the way that we're doing it is she doesn't need as much as I do. I'm the one that has a really dry skin. Her skin is oily, combination skin, and so it's easing off of it, right? It's easing
Mhm.
off of it, just like I had to ease off of the clobetasol steroid. It's really an addiction, which
Yeah, because your body
pisses
gets
me
used,
off.
like,
Yeah,
your skin and your body gets used to it, and now that you're saying that, I'm like, "Okay, that's probably what my issue was with my skin in Spain, because I think I was using their body washes." So it's like, and I'm not used to that, like, I'm always using clean
yeah,
products or something at home where it's not that, and so I'm like, that could have been stripping my skin because 'cause I've never been so dry. Like,
yeah. It, I,
yeah.
so we have our own manufacturing. I built up a manufacturing company in the Philippines, and the only reason I did that was that I can talk with complete integrity and complete confidence and debate me when I beg debates me back. And I mean that from a place of respect
Mhm,
because our soap is a $45 a month annual subscription or a $50 one off. Our soap is extremely expensive. And
mhm,
so my consumers that buy my soap they want first to be effective. Second, they want a luxurious feel. And third, it needs to be ethical for people and the planet. That's exactly what my consumers said they wanted when we did focus groups and research studies. And that's what we've created. And with that, you now will see that you might not need all the same things that you had before. And I'm not saying it's a one all be all. My girlfriend, she's still a girl. She still got to do her girl stuff. So I
mhm.
put the sunscreen, the lip gloss, all the good stuff on,
Yeah, yeah.
the hair stuff, all that. I'm not saying that. And I want to emphasize that because I come from a place of like a papa. I just want to love on love on my people. We don't know what we don't know. And when you do find out, it pisses you off because I'm a papa and I want to protect my cubs. And here we are today.
I love that. And in regards to, you manufacturing over there and being able to, like, know everything that's going into it, is it produced in the Philippines also, and then packaging is just
Yeah.
US?
Yeah. So the way that we do it, we have 11 ingredients that come from each of our ingredients. The supplier is also halal. Halal, a simple way of what that means is like if you know Jewish, Jewish kosher is the Jew, as Muslim is the halal. And neither one, you could eat Jewish kosher food all day. You don't have to be a Jew to eat kosher food. It's the same with halal. But one of those aspects, so on our farm, our goats have to be 1,000 yards away from any other animal. Like there's no contamination in that and no whatsoever. And so, yes, our ingredients come to the Philippines. So our soaker, him and his wife and his daughter, they make the soap, handmade. So every single bar will be slightly different. They're all 9 ounces or 250 grams, about 3 times the size of an average bar of soap. And then it comes to America and we package it and send it out.
And then you said, it's a subscription, so does it last more longer than a month? Like,
Yes, it does. Yes.
yeah,
So the thing about that, because I think your follow up is, well, if it lasts longer than a month, why would I get one month?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And great question. And the answer is simple. So again, my partner and I, my girlfriend and I, we use my bar of soap for our face and body. It lasts anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. That's for two people. And so the way that we do it, we send 4 bars out quarterly. So you have 4 bars up front. You send it once per quarter. The goal is if you're not using all your soaps in a year, give someone that need a soap.
Right,
And then
exactly.
also if you use all of the soap, let's say within that quarter, hit us up. We give you free soap.
Right.
It's like, yeah, hit us up. You use it. Cool. We supply you some more for free.
I love that. Amazing. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to know regarding that.
Yeah. What do you want to know? What would make you put a soap that you've never tried on your skin?
Well, I would already try it because I'm open to things. And I love that if it's nourishing too, that you won't necessarily need as much hydration and lotion afterwards. Because like that's something for me that's so important is you don't want to be using anything that's stripping, and
Correct.
you're
Correct.
using things that are oil stripping. And I do this because we sell skincare, and people all the time who are using the worst products, but they think that it's good because it's cleared their acne, but now they're stripped of moisture, and then now it's
Yeah.
like this never-ending cycle of, like,
It's a
trying to
loop.
yeah, you're trying to pH balance your skin and you can't because you're stripping it of oil and whatever. Um, and so for me, same thing with your body. It's like I'm noticing as I'm getting older also where I'm like, "Okay, my skin's starting to get thinner." Like, I'm noticing it where I'm like, "Okay, it's already starting to happen." And so to keep that moisture barrier is so important.
So for you, I think that you might like our white willow bark extract. It has 25% salicylic acid in it.
Mhm.
All that means it's naturally occurring salicylic acid. That's going to help uh, with well aging. The well aging is a term that will be coming in the near future. It's not a term that we
Yeah,
use
the
today.
anti-aging. It's
Yeah,
like
we use anti-aging today, but we're going to be going to well aging. So for those of you listening, start telling your friends well aging, not
aging.
anti-aging.
Well, it's so funny because, like, the company again I'm with, we had a line called "Age Well" because it's like, you don't
Ah,
wanna say
yeah,
anti-aging, you wanna say
yeah,
aging well, because
yeah.
like, you
That's because
can't
that's what
not
it is.
we're aging. So it's
Yeah,
like, how can you do it well? I love that.
yeah. Well aging, and I mean our the goat that we use is it called a Nubian goat. It's a Nubian, it's an Anglo-Nubian goat breed. The reason we use them is because they have the highest fatty content matter.
Mm,
And this is again a nerd. My team tells me to stop being so nerdy, but I'm a nerd. So there's a thing called TFM. TFM stands for total fatty matter. It's grade one, two, and three. Most soaps don't even get graded. They can't even get a grade. And what this means is, let's say you use Dove. Dove, you can test it. It's not going to get tested. It's not going to even. It's going to be basically below a 7 or 66. And what a TFM grade three, two, and one. The one is the highest. All it means is that it actually cleans your body and replenishes and gives you that moisture. So therefore you feel glowy. Your skin feels soft and your skin looks supple afterwards. And so we have the goat that helps with moisturization. The Manuka
mhm,
honey big time helps with locking in that moisture. And the shea butter from Ghana helps as well. And I really am big on where these ingredients come from because other people may have, oh, I use goat milk soap. Goat milk soap is great. And I would say, you're right. Goat milk soap is great.
mhm.
But are you using the highest quality ingredient? Are the ingredients that are being used in your soap, your products, are some of those synthetic? It's because you got to think these big marketing companies are colossal. They got a lot of money. They hire psychologists to use the sleight of words. So, for example, eat with does not mean fully made of,
Mhm.
and these are
Well,
not going to go forever.
it's like the greenwashing, right? Where that's something else that's so important because same thing when I went through my hippy dippy stage and I like bought all these ingredients myself, the source of it. Because if it's not done ethically and sustainably and you're getting shea butter or goat milk, like they can be getting tortured, traumatized.
Yes,
You can
yes,
be getting shea butter in a way that's destroying the environment. Like there's so much that matters. Same thing with how you're getting the honey. Is it even 100% Manuka honey? Like, or is it
yes.
like, you can buy maple syrup these days, it's not even maple syrup, same thing with honey, like, they can be completely fake. Um, and so, again, the labeling, because that's something that a lot of people don't realize, and I used to be fully in nutrition, and so that's where, like, my first side of labeling came in was through food, and then now being in, like, this side of things, where you literally, if it's under 25%, like, they can get away with not listing it, like you said earlier.
That
So
literally pisses me off so much.
and it's the same thing with food. Sorry, my throat. It's the same thing with food. So, like, on a food label, and people are like, "Oh, yeah, it just says 8 ingredients." if there's trace amounts, they can get away with not listing it. Same thing with calories. Like there's a 25% ratio of like they can say it's a certain amount, but it's not. It can be up and down within that. And so just knowing that the company values matter so much more than what the label says, because that's how you're going to know, like, are they actually being 100% transparent in what they're saying is in it?
I love
Because not
that.
all companies care to do that.
They don't. They're oftentimes, and this is a big thing too. I tell my girlfriend this. We talk about this because I'm a former financial advisor, so money is how I talk. We talk often about one, how was the company initially funded?
Mhm.
Two, who's running that company? Is it the CEO or is it the shareholders?
Mm, it
Um,
does.
what you s- what you just said, I also classify the part of disposable beauty, right? So environmental waste.
Right.
If it's my people, they ask for ethics in people, planet, and in pets. That's a future piece that we'll speak to at a later date. But then also the environmental harm. I mean, our name is Oshun. It's an idiom to where you can think ocean, right? Now, everything that we've done has been intentional. It's inside, outside, saying it's holistic. And so therefore, I don't want to, we like, for example, our packaging, right? It's a, it's, it's compostable. And so it's a plant, it doubles as a planter box.
Mm,
Seriously. And so my girlfriend, she'll create her green onions in there and they'll grow and put flowers in there and stuff, right? And it's because we should be replenishing our earth
mhm.
and replenishing ourselves at the same time versus just destroying it more and more and more. I mean, I can't be called Oshun. Most people will say ocean, and I'm destroying the ocean, you know?
With, like, plastic packaging or something.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
Yeah. No, I love
Or
that.
just,
That
or just even if it wasn't plastic, but just mass production, right? Um, and badly made as well.
Okay, wait, I love this, and I feel like we should end talking about this in entrepreneurship, and I feel like this leads in how you talked about servant leadership because this is something that I talk about a lot. Um, if you're trying to build something and it's not coming from a heart-led, servant-hearted place, I feel like we're in a place on the planet where you're not gonna find maybe you'll find the success, but it's gonna come with other issues because it's like you're not doing it from a place that's like good for people, good for planet. And I think if you anything you're building at this phase in our lifetime, if it's coming from a place of like it's good for people, good for planet, you're always going to find success in that because it's coming from the right space. And so maybe for you, speaking from like going into entrepreneurship and the easy thing, like you could find someone, and as you get bigger, you're probably going to someone's going to want to acquire you, then they try to push you out, then they take over, the ingredients go downhill, like it's a whole thing.
It just
Um,
happens. Yeah, it happens all the
yeah,
time.
and so it's the same thing, it's happening my friend, her business, they want to acquire her, take over, and what happens is, typically, like, they push the CEO or the people who originally created it out, they mass produce it, and it loses all of that value that it used to originally have, and so maybe just for you to speak to just like what was the word I was gonna say? Just being in entrepreneurship, building a business, but it's coming from a place of like good for people, good for planet. Because I really think that's the shift people are also looking for as consumers and as clients or whatever you want to call them. People who are looking for product, they want to know that the impact it's having and the value behind the company is something that can feel good. Like I know for me, I'm like same thing how we're talking about fabrics we're putting on our bodies. I'm now looking for companies who actually value this and care about this. And so it's happening with products, it's happening with clothing, it's happening with a lot because I think we're all realizing like this is not, it doesn't feel good. Like
No,
you can't keep consuming and consuming and consuming and have it feel good. I think we're all feeling the impact of being on our phones and being on all these things where it's like we want simplicity and
yeah,
simplicity bringing it even down to the ingredients that we're using. So I don't know if you want to speak to just building a business that's conscious and mindful of the planet.
um, my new hire, she said the only reason I said yes to work for me was because of my ethics, my
Mm,
values, my morals. And I love that you said that because a big part of it for me, I need to know who I am inside and out. I need to know where I stand for. I'm the leader of this. I need to be grounded in who I am as an individual first. And I think that anyone listening, obviously we're going to get to a point, my company's so big to where people don't know who I am. But as of today, this is this business won't grow without me. I am the business. My consumers, we're against 99%. We're only for the 1%, right? And so my consumers are going to do their due diligence. Who the hell is Mike Johnson? Who is the owner of this? Why is it a dude when it looks like a very feminine part? All
Yeah.
these things people are going to want to know about. And so I think that it starts with who I am on the inside because it's going to show on the outside.
Well, it's the representation of the whole company. And I feel like
Absolutely.
this is something for people who are building businesses. If you're listening, like this matters because people are looking at this. They want to know who
Yes.
are the people behind the brand. Because if they like you, if they know you, like you, trust you, they're going to buy
Yeah.
whatever you're selling. And that's so key because it's like if they can tie into your brand story and who you are and like why you care about this, they already have an emotional buy-in to the product, which is more likely that they're going to stick around and keep using it versus the next thing that they keep getting shown, right? That has no value or emotional tie-in.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about men, like men's mental health. I know
Okay.
this is
Let's do
totally
it.
different than what we've spoken about, but I know you mentioned this earlier, and I feel like this could be most of the people listening to my podcast are women, but when I say women, then guys will message me and be like, "Am I the only dude that listens?" Because like guys do listen too. But obviously, a lot of women have men in their life, and so
Yes.
something that I feel I notice the most is there's a lot of men who feel really lost. They don't feel enough. They aren't on mission. They don't really have a vision. And I feel like that makes them feel lost, not enough, all the things. And so I don't know if you have anything that you found as a man building a business or just in people that you have interacted with. Um, yeah, if you wanna go there at all. And just, like, anything that comes to mind to speak on because I feel like this is something I feel pretty passionate about. I have 2 boys. I've always cared about I have a soft spot for men in general, where so many women would be like, "F him," like, how girls can be. And I think it's because I'm like, I feel the heart because 'cause I'm like, we're living in this world where guys are made out to be like, they don't have the same heart we do. And so I don't know if there's anything you wanna say on that, but I feel like that's why there's so much suicide and mental health and addiction in men because they don't have the proper tools, and so they're running, escaping all the things. So I don't know, I just feel like called to ask you if there's anything you wanna share
No,
regarding that.
no, definitely. So I'm incredibly appreciative of this question. I've been on TV for 6 years.
Mhm,
I just got offered 2 TV shows this past week, and I've done minimum 1,500 podcasts. No
right.
one has ever asked about care about men, ever, not one time. So I
I'm
really
shocked.
appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Not guys, not girls, not theys. No one has ever that I've done, and I've done over 1,500. I've been at the highest level of podcasting on time on TV. No one has ever asked me that. So I really appreciate that, Carly. Thank you. I think that women and guys both need to realize that we do need each other.
Mhm,
As much as all of the rhetoric I see that women are having a very strong heyday, I would say in today's marketplace. I think in part is absolutely fair because of how my gender has done women for so long. I think that the pendulum has swung. It's definitely swung. And I mean, what do I want to say about it? I think for men, I think that you got to stop with the gender wars. A part of masculinity is to respond and not. And I'm coming at the fellas in that regard because I am a fella, and I think that the first thing that we should do is like look within first. I would say another thing is, I think that we have to have brotherhood. We
mhm.
have to. We're in 2025. I love that. I was watching some YouTube the other day, and dude was saying that we're not in a we're not in an isolation society. We are in a by choice lonely society.
Mm,
And what he was talking about was we've never seen a society gloat and praise when their friend says, "Oh, they text you, oh, Carly, can we cancel tonight?" And you get all happy. I don't want to go out anyway. I'm like that, very much like that.
yeah.
And this professor was saying like this is the first time in our American history that we've been this way. We're choosing isolation because scrolling on TikTok for an hour, like you and I having a business dinner for 2 hours, right? It's giving me the same emotion. So therefore, if I've already scrolled, what I need to see you for? I've already did that.
Mm,
I already know what's going on in your life. I already saw you was over there. I saw your pictures. I already liked it. So we're living in this society. I think it's very important for men and women both to have friends in person
mhm,
and to listen, which means care, silent, and just hear what your homie have to say, girl or guy. I mean,
mhm,
that advice is for everybody, but I think as it pertains to guys, it's to learn how to stop reacting. I think oftentimes guys, myself included, have basically said, "Oh, I can't beat him, join him." And I started becoming sassy and started snapping back and basically started acting like some of my counterparts.
mhm,
If I say that I'm a man and I want to be this way and be and respected as such, I need to learn to respond and not react to every little thing. To understand that women are great. Men are also great. There's a lot of shitty ones. You got to find, you got to find what's something's right for you. You're not going to
mhm,
curse out Dove. And then lastly, the third piece of advice I would just say is if you're a secure man, and I hate saying this because it's not easy, you will leave a situation if you've exhausted, gone to therapy a couple of times, paid for the therapy, you exhausted everything. You need to learn to leave. It's okay to leave the situation after patience has been exhausted.
mhm.
And
What
I'm not saying that from a place of like, oh, she ain't doing you right, leave her. I'm saying that from a place of no, learn to respond, stop reacting, learn to be, if we're talking about relationships, learn to be her safety, emotional safety, physical safety, financial safety, that if that is the case. But I think emotional safety is the one that we oftentimes forget. And you got to stop being overtly stoic. I think girls think it's kind of sexy when you show a little bit of emotion. Don't bawl every single second.
yeah.
Say what it is. So how do you feel? You talk about it. Be open,
No, it's so
respectfully.
true. Because I think at least what I'm seeing for a lot of people is, okay, you could have the guy who, let's say, he's financially providing, or he thinks that he's present, but he's not. Like, he's not present and he's not able to support emotionally, and so I feel like we're living in a different time where women are looking for that and needing it, and if you can't support that or provide it, they're not really willing to stay in a relationship that doesn't have that, because it
Nope.
doesn't feel
I
like
don't think nobody is. I don't think nobody trying to stay in a relationship. If it's bad, it's bad. And
yeah,
I agree with you though.
and then additionally, what you just said, because there was a guy telling me about his situation with his wife this weekend, and it's like this weird thing with men, and I see it all the time where, like, they won't leave. So how you said that, it's like they won't be the one to leave, where sometimes you can also be the one that's being abused and, like, knowing
Yeah.
that it's time to go, but on both sides, women and men. I just think when you know it's not working, it's okay to say it's not working anymore. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just feel like we're living in a crazy time because the advice
Oh, we
men
are.
are getting, like, some of the stuff I see on TikTok for men, I'm like, "What in the actual F is going on?" Of, like, how they're saying to treat people, and it's like, there's this one guy I saw, and I don't know, I just feel like I need to bring this up. He was like, "A girl wants to live with you, like, she should pay you to live with you, like, if she's gonna be in your business," like, the stuff that this guy was saying, I was like, "Men are
Yeah,
getting
no.
this advice from people? Like, this is crazy." But then on the women's side, there's women out here being like, "Well, if he's not buying you everything and doing everything, like, why would you date him?" And so I'm like you said, the gender war where I'm like, "Can we all just be in our hearts and just be loving instead?" Like, what if,
Yeah.
like how you said, you started acting sassy, you started acting like how these other people were acting, where I always come back to, like, what feels true and right to me, and if you can come from a place of love, do that. It's like that's the most aligned action you could ever take, is like, what does it feel like in here? And doing that regardless of what all this other stuff noise really is saying.
It's noise. That's all it is. It's got to quiet it. Mindfulness helps.
Mhm. Yeah.
So mindfulness, movement, connection, and pleasure. Those are my four that I swear will give you a life of joy.
Okay, wait. So for the men, let's say you're a man, you're struggling, you don't feel your best, um, or you're down, because I feel like that happens a lot where they feel it's almost like this, like they just want to like hide and they don't feel their best, which is like, as a man, you need to be like, in your power in a sense. Um, yeah, do you feel like those are the four first things to start focusing on? Mindfulness.
100%.
What'd you say? Mindfulness, movement.
Mindfulness, movement, connection, and pleasure. If you do those and do those on a consistent basis, you will be okay. Mindfulness could be you writing down on a journal. Mindfulness could be, hell, I don't know, if you want to smoke by a tree, under a tree in the grass with your shoes off and your socks off. If you want to meditate, those are three examples of mindfulness. Movement, get your ass in
And
the
goat
gym, bro.
yoga.
Go yoga for sure. It's super fun. um, Talking about that mindfulness, hold an animal. Movement, get your ass in the gym. You got to. If you don't, you look good, you feel good. Step one. You got to look good. I don't care what she said about you. You got to look the part. Like half y'all want a girl look 10 times better than you anyway. You got to come with something. And
Well,
then
being
there's
fit
connection.
too, it's important.
What?
Being fit, like, it shows that you have a
So much.
loving relationship and a respect for your body.
You
It's
know, they
important.
said by this is a they is the internet people. They say what is it by 2030, a six pack for a male 35 or older will be more rare than a 35 or older male would.
Wow.
Yeah. Women, yeah,
So, I'm like, just for the women, I mean, I'm just I'm protecting myself here because 'cause I'm like, by
yeah.
35, I'm looking at
I'm
six.
not speaking to the women. I swear, I was not speaking to the women. You were saying guys. I was saying,
No, I know.
don't come to me.
Um,
I'm kidding.
no, but it's so true, like, taking care of yourself, moving, it's so important, okay? And then connection, I feel like that's where the
Yeah,
brotherhood part comes in,
yeah,
because I feel like men don't
yeah.
talk about real shit. Like, a lot of
No, we
men do
don't.
not talk about, they're like, "Oh, yeah, do you see the game? And it's like, "No, no, no, let's, like, actually talk about what's going on in your heart."
Um, my homies and I, we really do. We got closer after I got off TV because I really needed them a lot. We talk about real stuff, but it's still not like a woman. You know, ours might be it's very diluted. It might be one out of 20 meetups. You know, and then so yeah, connection is huge. Connection in person if able, and then the last one is pleasure. And when I say pleasure, I'm talking about not only sexual pleasure but also emotional pleasures. Right? I'm talking about spiritual pleasures. I mean, excuse me. As in, this is what I love to do when I write my journal. I say, okay, let's say I had a glass of wine up looking overlooking the downtown. It could have been a 9 out of 10 experience. Very pleasurable. What could have made it a 10? Well, I was a little cold. Maybe I had a blanket, right?
Mm,
That's a pleasure. We always sometimes people associate pleasure with just a sexual act, and oftentimes sexual acts aren't even pleasurable. It's just going with the flow, and doing the routine. And so, meditate or mindfulness, movement, connections, and pleasure. If you do that every day, you will eventually be okay.
no, I love that because it's so true, especially for men. I feel like how many men are really talking about, like, "What did you do to bring yourself pleasure today?" And it's
Yes,
so true. The word is so associated with sexuality that you don't even realize it could be like you just said, cozying up in a blanket,
yeah.
that it
Like
really
literally, literally, it could have been you watching. I don't know. We just finished watching Hunger Games,
Yeah.
and you had your favorite popcorn or your favorite drink next to you. Like that's a pleasurable thing. And what we're trying to teach people is that to recognize the pleasure because in this day and age, negativity is so sticky.
Mhm.
And so by recognizing your pleasures that you have that day, it's acknowledgement of that.
Right. Well, I'm making it a daily thing because I think
Yeah.
so often we can go a whole week and you think you're deserving of pleasure, like, on a Friday afternoon versus like
Yeah.
how can you pull momentary pleasure into your everyday, which is so
Absolutely.
true. And it brings back the mindfulness.
Yeah. Fun on weekdays. Let's have it.
Yes. Like even coffee in the morning, I'm like, I love it. So I'm like, even that, like, I got my pleasure today already first thing in the
Yes.
morning. It's like,
Yes.
you
That's your
know?
ritual.
Yeah. It's
That's
so
a
true.
pleasurable thing. That's good. And then when you just simply associate it, oh, this is pleasurable. You
Yes.
literally become happier. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm doing what pleases.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can, like, celebrate it, and then it brings more joy, and then you're a happier person, and it ripples, right?
I would
Love.
also say if you're asking, I would also say for guys, we gotta porn is helping. I'm sorry.
No, talk about it. I talk about it. Go.
No, I'm sorry.
I talk about this stuff all the time, so go.
It's okay. So yeah, I dabbled into becoming a board certified sexologist. So I'm speaking from that
Did you say you dabbled into becoming a porn star?
board certified sexologist.
I thought you said you dabbled into becoming a porn star for 6 hours. Actually, you can find Mike
No,
Johnson on OnlyFans, guys,
it's
with
called
your Oshun
it's called
soap.
growmupsoap.com. That's where OnlyFans. But no, genuinely though, the porn, we have more. And I'm 37, about to be 38 this year, so I'm not talking about my group, but the 18 to 24 group have the highest erectile dysfunction than any other group before them. That's great. And we talking about 18-year-old, they ready.
You should
But
be ready. Yeah.
it comes from again, disposable beauty. Overconsumption of fake online. And when you're in person, you become so much anxiety that you become frozen in place. It's what the technical term is, you start to fall. It's a trauma response. Oftentimes it's associated in a different light, but it's in this light as well. We start to fawn and don't know what to do. It's like, oh my God, there's lots of titties, you know? And it's eating at us. It's slowly taking us away. I think that one of the stats is that a 18-year-old boy or girl, if she's very active into watching porn, has seen 10 times the amount his grandfather has in his grandfather's life. And we're talking about a kid that literally wasn't legally able to watch until that year, if he's 18. And he's seen more women than his or men in his entire life in comparison to a grandpa. And
Crazy.
so it's almost like if I can sum everything up into one word, everything that we discussed today, we need to go back to savoring.
Hmm.
That's really it.
Well, and the simplicity. Like it really does. It's the overconsumption.
It's the overconsumption. It really, really, really is. Our brains are not, we have three parts to our brain, the reptilian, the mammalian, and I forget the third one. And our brains are not caught up to 2025 cell phones. Our brains are not caught up to all of this overload of information.
Hmm.
And so this is why our relationships are going straight to shit. Uh, and
No,
so many
really.
other,
Well, well, it's everything we talked about, like overconsumption in terms of products, in terms of food. Like, why are people overweight? Overconsumption, overconsumption of porn. It's ruining relationships. Um, And it's sad because, like, again, when I was 20, I was on to all of this stuff. And I would be told I was like a prude and that something is wrong with me. And I was like, no, you're not understanding. Like, this is so detrimental to boys' brains. And so I cared about this back then, way before I had my own kids. I knew how detrimental it was. And obviously, our generation, I'm 33. And so, like, our generation isn't getting hit as hard as the kids who are growing up right now with access to it at 12 and 13 and 14 and 15. But this is so real life. They literally don't find real women attractive.
yeah, which is that's funny to
But
me,
they're
but
going to be the perfect ones to sell the AI sex robots to because that's all they're going to get turned on by. So it's like,
it's, it's
it's,
a, it's a, it's a machine. It's a capitalist
yeah,
machine. It just keeps going.
no, it's crazy. Ugh. Um, okay, I love this. This is so good. Do you want to say anything about your sexologist thing? What was that?
Uh,
I thought you were going to be a porn star, but was that to like help people with like there's what is it? What's that?
I personally, long story short, I think that mental health, a lot of mental health, we need to add sexual health to that. And when I'm talking about, when I say sexual health, I'm not talking about wear condoms or be
No.
abstinent. I'm talking about how sexual health is quite literally tied to your mental health. A person having a one night stand, their anxiety is risen threefold off of a one night stand. So literally, what I'm talking about, male or female, right, for that matter. I get very passionate about the thing that I'm passionate about. I'm speaking to, we need to bring in, and I mean, the WHO and the CDC, I've read their definitions for these words, and they continue to separate that too. It's why does, and I'll say this and I'll shut up. Why does a person, male or female, that gets sexually abused as a child, oftentimes grow up and over indulges in sex? It's not because it's a sexual issue. It's a sexual issue that has now become a mental health issue. And I,
No, but it's so real. Like for example, back on the porn subject, a lot of the times if someone was sexually abused, let's say as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, a lot of the times what they're most aroused by is the reenactment of the thing that happened to them. And so then you wonder why like child pornography, all of these things are on the rise. They don't even know sometimes consciously that like that's what they're into because it's literally it's their most traumatic event. And then they're sexually aroused by it. And it becomes this like, again, this whole thing where it's so true. And then also the sex culture where I know for me, I was never the person who went and had one night stands. And I used to feel like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I missing out? Cause like all these people are doing it. And like, should I be doing that? Like, did I miss something by not doing that? And it was such a thing for me. And then it was realizing like all of my friends who acted empowered by it, it was literally like you said, it was like killing them. Like they are all struggling with depression. They all have severe anxiety. They're on antidepressants. Like, because we're not meant to just give away our bodies like that. Like it's,
There's a there's a book. It's my favorite book of 2024. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Carly, I cut you.
no, you're
For
good.
all those listening, if you want to check it out, it's called Cupid's Poison Arrow. Cupid's Poison Arrow. I love that book. It's by
Okay.
I believe she's a doctor and a lawyer. It's by a woman named Marnia Robinson.
Okay.
And I believe she is a doctor and a lawyer. And basically, she was roughly your age and divorced, and all her girlfriends were divorced as well. She was like, "What the fuck? Like, are we all bad?" Or like, because she basically was like, "I can't be young." At first, it was like she thought she was just a bad wife, but then she was like, "All my girlfriends are also divorced," and so she's like, "Well, why are we all divorced? Like, what the fuck?" And then she's a very much a researcher, a doctor, and a lawyer. Doing her due diligence, what she came to, which this is her. I just really like it. She came to that we have sex wrong.
Mhm.
And what she came to, and I fully agree, I went to a 3-year school to become a board certified sexologist. It was in tantra sexology. It was matriarchal. And I was one of two guys in a 50-person class. And so I learned a lot
Yeah.
about women, not just like, oh, touch here, but also like up here and in
Mhm.
here, more importantly. And what she talks about is that it's so beautiful. I love this book. I suggest everyone reads. It's called Cupid's Poison Arrow. She talks about, first off, if a woman even gets an orgasm, that's a different conversation. Guys,
No, that's
listen, you suck.
embarrassing.
You're
I'm
not as
like,
good as you think you are.
yeah.
But when a girl actually does get an orgasm, what happens is this, and the same thing happens for guys too. But unfortunately, even in a world where women don't have as often orgasms, so we can really tell from her versus when she gets her orgasm. There's first dopamine, right? Huge dopamine makes us want it more. Makes us want it more. Then what we should be going to is serotonin, which is, man, let's cuddle. Let me hold
Mhm.
you. Come here, baby. Let me tell you let me whisper some bullshit in your ear. It might be some great, whatever I'm saying. Let's just cuddle and be cute, right? What happens then is there's a 2-week period. So where this girl don't like that dude that just gave her an orgasm. And it's
That they
not,
don't.
they don't. It's the brain chemically how it's happening. And the reason they don't is because once she does get her, if she's getting periods, I don't know the audience here, but if she is still getting periods, her brain is pissed off at that guy for having sex with her, but not putting a baby in her.
Interesting.
Crazy. And that's beyond your rational brain. You're like, I just had great sex. But your deeper part of your brain that's like, thinks that sex is still and only for procreation of, because, our brain at the end of the day is literally made for survival. That's just what its purpose is, right? And we've taught it other aspects, but at the lowest function is to survive. That's why you can't drown yourself in each water. You can try. Your brain will just push your head up, right? Unless you obviously put something down all the time. But if I didn't put a baby in my girl, she get pissed off at me because I didn't put a baby in her. I didn't procreate for our life to continue.
Well,
And
and
it's so crazy how that stuff,
when
like
you talk about
the hormone.
the one night stand thing, because they talk about this too, where women naturally though, because when you have sex, it's assumed that you're bonding for life because you're gonna have a child. So then it's like you can't just do that and not be connected. Like it's
Yeah,
so deep on both sides. And I feel like, I don't know, for men, I've heard that on the opposite end, then they feel completely disconnected. Like
yeah,
you don't have the same issue. So it's like both of us as men and women are feeling different things. Just crazy. And it's so true. The getting sex wrong because it's people are doing it as an act. without realizing that it's like a
It's a performance.
spiritual it's a
It's a
like, it's the closest that you can get to, like, a spiritual connection to God with 2 people, and we're out here just doing it like it means nothing.
I agree. We should be looking at it from a aspect of connecting and pleasurable rather than performing and being
Yeah,
performative.
which takes connection and intimacy, and a lot of people are afraid of the intimacy. So let's just
Most people are, men and women both. Yeah. And while we're speaking about it, ladies, I hate to break it to you. Sometimes dude might be putting down right. He might just he might be in block, you know?
mhm,
Most of the times he don't last long enough. I agree.
but that's a fear of intimacy. So if a guy's
Yeah.
not lasting long, it's not really it's like it's the anxiety of performance, but then it's like you're not actually connecting. Because if you were connecting, you wouldn't feel the need to, like, get it over with.
He's been doing this all his life.
Yeah. There's yeah, alone, where it's like it shouldn't be alone. It should be with 2 people.
Yeah.
This could be a whole podcast in itself.
Yeah, I say I can talk forever,
No, we need
forever.
to we'll do another one on sex because 'cause I'm like, this is something that I think I know when I've spoken about it and, like, pornography, I'm open book. I will literally talk about anything and everything, and it's something that even couples, they're not talking about. So they're both, we should have sex because 'cause we're married, and so they're doing it, but it's not connected, and it's not even pleasurable, like you said, sometimes for either party, and so it's just creating, like, a even, like, more separation almost and disconnect
Yeah,
within the relationship rather than something that should be bringing you closer and closer together every single time.
sure, sure.
Yeah. Love
Next on the next part, we'll teach how to have
sex
sex
time.
properly.
We'll make it a sex with what'd you call a sexologist?
I am a board certified sexologist. Yes.
That is so I've never heard of that before in my life.
You can Google it. It's there.
Okay. That's so funny that you mentioned the tantra because I had someone one time I was in Costa Rica at a medicine ceremony, and he had said, he's like, "No, I saw you. You're meant to be like a tantric sex coach." And I was like,
You know what?
"Weird." So maybe that's in my future. Not yet.
Maybe it's in your future.
Maybe.
If you want, I could put you with the only government and only accredited school in the entire world for this. So if you want it,
Interesting.
you got my
Okay.
contact.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to look into it because I'm like, yeah, I definitely have a passion for relationships and helping people connect. And so I'm like, maybe that's what I'm meant to do in the future. Who knows?
Posible.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving us your time. For people who are listening, where can they find you? Where can they find out more about yourself, more about you? How can they find you?
Yes, goatmilksoap.com. That's all
You
you need
did
to
keep
know.
it. You kept goatmilksoap.com.
Yes, I bought like 10 others, but yes,
Yeah, I love it.
goatmilksoap.com. You can find me on IG at Mike_Johnson. Hit me up. Let's talk. Try
I
the
love it.
soap. Let me know your thoughts.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
Bye,
so
guys.
much. Have a great
Bye.